Joining me on the set now, 100 Huntley Street, is Big Joe Amaral. Joe, it's good to have you back.
Thank you, I think.
It's good to see you, buddy. I wanted you to come in and let's talk about this book because I think a lot of our audience are like where you and I were a year and a half ago. For the first time, as we were a year, 18 months ago, learning about this book for the very first time, The Mystery of Shemitah. People just aren't aware of it, and yet around the world, in the United States, over 12 million copies sold.
That's incredible.
Jonathan Cahn, greatly respected on the cover of Charisma magazine, is one of the 40 most influential leaders in Christianity in the last 40 years. This book has some interesting perspectives. It's different.
It's different, and if you don't understand his premise, you really miss what he's trying to say in the book.
So let's learn together, because we want people to get this book. This is exciting. So let's start with, what is the Shemitah? You know, as a Israeli student, Israel student, the biblical Israel, what that is, and then we'll talk about what is the mystery around the Shemitah.
Yeah, well, I think people expect me to know everything about Israel. Like, hey, aren't you Joe Israel? Don't you know everything? No, I know some stuff. And I knew about the Shemitah. It's in the Bible. It talks about it.
Well, what is the Shemitah?
Well, you have 6 years of farming the land, of raising money and making money. And the 7th year is a year of rest. Just like there's 6 days of work, 1 day of rest, it also works in years. On the 7th year, you give the land an opportunity to rest, so it can the nutrients come back to the land, and then following again on the 1st year, it's ready to go. So what Rabbi Cahn does in this book is he looks at this pattern called the Shemitah. Every 7 years, this is supposed to be a time of rest, restoration, God giving back, and a time of blessing. And it's absolutely fascinating how he chronicles the historical correlations between when it was actually the 7th year and when these events took place. And I think, I know we go to Rabbi Cahn here in a moment, and he's actually going to tell us what the mystery of the Shemitah is.
Well, let's look at this clip right here. I think he gives us a little bit of a broad view of things that we've talked about Shemitah. We'll go to the mystery next. Let's look at this, and we'll come back and make some comments.
Is it possible that there exists an ancient mystery that lies behind the events of modern times that determines the rise and fall of the stock market and the economy, the rise and collapse of nations, the destruction of empires and superpowers, a mystery more than 3,000 years old, and yet that determines global cataclysms, the timing of world wars, the atomic age, the Cold War, the attack of 9/11, and more? Could a mystery revealed in a Middle Eastern mountain ordain the rise of America and what may be its coming fall? Could this ancient mystery given to a nation of shepherds be so precise that it has ordained and determined the timing of the greatest collapses in Wall Street history, down to the year, the month, the date, and the hours? What if we could know the future? Could there exist a mystery going back to ancient times that's been affecting, even molding our lives from the days we were born? From events of global proportions to the state of our bank accounts, our past, our present, and our future. And what does it foretell concerning what is yet to come? What is this mystery? It's called the mystery of the Shemitah.
And this thing's just been going nuts. People are buying this and reading it and learning from it. All right, so the Shemitah is a 7-year period of time. And then, what is this mystery that causes Rabbi Cahn to look back and apparently with great accuracy look and see, okay, that's what happened in 1929 with the fall of the stock market, and then other cycles, and you can go through, and he charts it in the book
in great detail.
I mean, if you're a financial investor, this is also fascinating and curious. So what is the mystery aspect of this that's so compelling?
Well, I think people need to understand, he throws the word in there, mystery. It's the mystery of the Shemitah. We know about the Shemitah. And what Rabbi Cahn has done is it's amazing, just the wisdom God has given him. 95% of his book, by the way, is him looking back on what God has done.
Yeah, it's reflective.
It's reflective, and not even 5%, we're being very gratuitous with that number, it is actually about looking forward and seeing what might happen, not what will.
It's a very soft prediction, if
it's based on what God has done historically. I mean, with incredible accuracy and just with repetition over and over again. So you have the 6 years of work, the 7th year of rest, the Shemitah. That's one Shemitah, that's one cycle. And then every 7 cycles, or every 7 Shemitahs, after 49 years, from the 49th to the 50th year, you have this year of blessing, you have this year of Jubilee. And historically, in that year, we've seen great shifts in the world, in governments, in borders, in lands being given back and taken away. And so we're actually living in that 50th year right now called Jubilee.
And you also, and there are things to look for in this period of time now. And what happened with the China stock market and the
huge crash,
devaluation, the United States being such a debtor nation to China. Also looking back, he talks about the birth of Israel, 1947-48.
Yes.
He talks about the Six-Day War. All that ties into this.
Yeah, we had this.
Again, he's not predicting anything.
No.
He's going back and saying, hey guys, this happened.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
On a biblical calendar.
I look back and I see how God has worked on certain feast days throughout history. And I don't say because God did it there, he will do it again. But because he did it there, it's possible. And the whole point of this isn't to cause hysteria and to get people all out of control. Yeah. It's, guys, we need to be ready at all times because Jesus is coming back. God is pouring out judgment in different parts of the earth, and we need to be ready.
Would you please find out why millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of people have bought this book? And we want you, as part of 100 Huntley Street, we want you to be informed as to what the body of Christ is reading, what's being thought, the thinking out there, as well as the conversations. The mystery of the Shemitah. Amaral is going to be with me for several days. We're going to unpack this. We're also going to visit with Rabbi Cahn. I'm going to interview him soon, and it's going to be an amazing month. Call us, would you?